Hi, this is Coach Hasan with just some thoughts regarding our training process. And it involves the idea of knowing versus guessing. And what I mean by that is because we are involved in a process that requires a lot of details and there's a lot of things going on that we are responsible for doing, if we don't have a way of or create a way for ourselves to track what we are doing on a day-by-day basis, then long term, we end up guessing on what is most effective, what we're doing, and the idea that those things that are producing the results, we aren't totally 100% clear about. And so it brings the point that in this process, it becomes to our advantage to document as much of that process as we can so that years down the road or months down the road we can reflect back on what we did or didn't do and have a better idea on what things are working for us and which things perhaps aren't working. Because what happens, I've found, is that if we don't know, if we don't have documentation, we will tend to do those things that give us the greatest sense of personal satisfaction in the short term. And long term, they may not be the things that give us the greatest return on our time investment or help us to develop at the level that we want to. And so when we don't know, then we guess. And we don't oftentimes do the things that are the most difficult for us to give us the greatest degree of success long term because they require a significant amount of effort and time and energy and learning and growing and patience and all those kind of things. And all of that I just described represents a level of discomfort and frustration. And many times we don't want to experience that kind of frustration, so we will tend to do those things that give us the greatest degree of immediate satisfaction. What the documentation provides us is, again, details as to what we're doing, why we're doing it, and to what degree it is necessary for us to do those activities long term so we can get the success and results that we want. So either we know what we're doing or we end up guessing, and there aren't many places in our life where we have the opportunity to guess. If we were at school and we didn't study, we flunked the test. I mean, certainly guessing is one option, but the most successful students are the ones who study and have records and documentation and notes so that when it's time to take the test, you have a better chance of passing the test. You certainly can't do that if you're working on a job. Show up to a meeting for an evaluation and your employer says, okay, show me what you've done, and you have nothing to show. The likelihood of staying employed is significantly reduced. So you might end up getting fired because you don't know what the heck's going on. So if we just transfer some of that thinking to our personal life process as it relates to training, the more we know long term, I think the better we will improve and the more success we will have based on what we define success for ourselves to be.